The following program is a Town of Colonie television production of the William K. Sanford Town Library.
Welcome to An Open Door on the Arts. My name is Barbara Richer, and I get to join you as we travel all throughout the Capital Region, discovering new and interesting and most of the time very wonderful arts programs. Today I have a special guest with me, and we'll be traveling up the Northway to Saratoga Springs. Now, if you think you know everything about Saratoga Springs because you know SPAC, the racetrack, the dance museum, you've got another thing coming, because there's a new gal in town, the Universal Preservation Hall. And my special guest today is Teddy Foster, the president of the board, who has everything there is to know about this most amazing discovery in Saratoga Springs and its very wonderful future. Teddy, I'm so happy to welcome you here.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
And I should let everybody know, too, that you gave me a remarkable tour through this great place, through Preservation Hall. And it was amazing. It's an art piece in and of itself, really, this building. The thought that it ever was going to be turned into a parking lot is horrible.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll just start by telling everyone out there a little bit about this amazing venue.
I'd be happy to. Universal Preservation Hall was a former Methodist church that was built in 1871. It was a big speaker house for the Methodists that had an encampment in this area. Mm-hmm. And the likes of Teddy Roosevelt spoke there, and William Howard Taft, and William Jennings Bryan. So it has a rich history. Architecturally, it's very historically significant. And in the year about 2000, it fell into terrible disrepair. Mm-hmm. It was falling in on itself. It became pretty much a public menace. So the city condemned it, and they parked the wrecking ball outside. They were going to demolish this building.
I can't even believe it when you told me that.
Yeah.
Looking at it now and how beautiful. I mean, obviously it's in reconstruction here and there, but it's such a magnificent building.
It's beautiful, yeah. At that time, it was no longer a Methodist church. It was owned by the Universal Baptist Church, which is an African-American Baptist congregation of a very small number of congregants, and they didn't have the financial wherewithal to save this building. So somebody who was the president of the Preservation Foundation, a man named Jeff File, maybe people will recognize that name, mm-hmm. and another man who was a professor at Skidmore, Tom Lewis, got together, saw the cause, met with the Baptist Church, and then got a group of individuals together who raised about $2.5 to $3 million to stabilize the building and keep it from falling down.
A miracle.
It was a miracle. And that all happened in about 2003 or so. Mm-hmm. Fast forward to 2015, we are now, the building has been stabilized. It's not nearly finished. It's only halfway done. Mm-hmm. We have no heat upstairs in our Great Hall. We have no air conditioning. We have no sprinkler system, a number of things.
A work in progress.
Yes, we are a work in progress. But even in the time that we've had this building as Universal Preservation Hall, it's only half finished. It has been bustling with events and people, and we hope to really take that up a notch in the near future. So,
well, it's very welcoming, even in the state that it's in. You walk in, and even without anything going on, it's an impressive building.
Thank you.
The windows are magnificent. I think we kept commenting on those. They're very, I think I read on your website, Tiffany inspired, but the colors are soft, and they're probably the loveliest stained glass windows I've seen, and those are in the main event arena.
The Great Hall, we call it, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and there, the way the sun comes around the building, because it faces the south, it's spectacular. No matter where you look at those windows or what time of day, it's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Right.
Now, I know you've used that Great Hall, and I think our listeners would like to hear how many different things you use that Great Hall for, because it isn't just a venue for arts programs, although that's primarily what we're going to talk about, but they can also rent this space.
Yes, we do rent our spaces. We have fundraisers there. We have had corporate marketing meetings there. We have 2 rooms, actually. We have the Great Hall upstairs, which is 7,000 square feet, and then we have another smaller space on the first floor, which we call our community room, that can comfortably seat 150 to 200 people, theater style. So we've done little trade shows in there, corporate meetings, parties, birthday parties, fundraisers throughout the hall. And we've also, in our upstairs in our Great Hall, which is our really beautiful room,
Right.
we've had over 25 weddings.
I think that's wonderful.
Yeah.
We sat in the balcony, you and I, and looked down across to the, is it called an alcove?
It's called the apse.
The apse, where the altar at one point would have been. Incredibly impressive and so beautiful. You could just imagine quite a remarkable wedding going on there.
It's a wedding photographer's dream.
It really
It
is.
is,
It's just as beautiful. And you say that you have the ability to actually do the service there and the dinner.
Right. We do in our upstairs in our Great Hall. We'll have the ceremony, and then when the ceremony is over, the guests go downstairs to the community room for a cocktail reception. And by the time they come back upstairs, the Great Hall is set for the reception, and the band is on the stage. It just works beautifully.
You can picture it.
Yeah,
It must be stunning.
Yeah, for people that are into preservation or are working on a budget, we're priced a little bit less than other venues. It works beautifully.
It does. It would.
And the hall is so, it's just remarkably beautiful. It doesn't require a lot of decoration.
No, it doesn't.
Right.
And I can see how it would work for a lovely large anniversary or a large retirement or any big event where you want a special venue for it to be in. And that also brings in some income to provide for other arts organizations that come in. So it's like a good hand-in-hand business there. Well, so your mission, once you saved this building from destruction and now had this beautiful place in your hand, your mission is to actually primarily use it as an arts venue?
Yeah, our mission is to make it a performing arts and community events venue. It's always been that. And we really feel our vision has been all along to be the cultural center in downtown Saratoga that there really isn't.
There isn't.
No.
And that's remarkable when you think of that. I hadn't realized it till you said that.
Right. You know, downtown needs it. Downtown has wonderful things. We have a small art center, certainly. We have the Cafe Lena. We have Zankel Performing Arts up at Skidmore. We have SPAC to the south of Broadway. But there's really nothing downtown. And we see it as a place where people of all ages, all demographics, can come together for all different kinds of reasons, whether it be a wedding or a fundraiser or an art show or who knows what.
It is.
It'll be able to be used for that. We kind of like to think of it as Saratoga's living room.
It is like that. I was trying to think of a word as you were saying that to describe that area, and it is like a living room.
Yeah, it's within walking distance to everything. We're surrounded by a lot of condominiums and apartments. So in the scheme of having Saratoga be a very pedestrian-friendly community, you know, 12 months a year you can walk and do something there.
Right, right. I may be moving a little faster than I thought I would, but I know that there's a new affiliation that's like another giant leap in your mission and in your steps to continue to preserve and continue to grow. And maybe you'd share that with us.
Oh, I'd be happy to. It's the big news. We have just announced our affiliation with Proctor's Theater, and we're really excited about it. We've been working on this partnership for a couple of years now, trying to negotiate it and get it worked out, and it's finally official. It's happening. It's going to be great for Saratoga. It's going to be great for the hall, certainly, and I think it's going to be really good for Proctor's as well. Proctor's is partnering with us to help us, first of all, raise the rest of the money to finish the building.
Which is how much?
Which is $4.3 million. That's what we feel we need from soup to nuts to have it done. And we've already been working with a preservation architect. We've made some redesigns to the building to make it friendlier and more flowable for people to come in. It'll stay very historically significant.
I think that's an important piece, too, to know that it will stay, because the beauty, the art of the place is there. So all your enhancements will just enrich it, but to keep that beauty is wonderful.
You have to. The building's so pretty.
Yeah.
We're putting actually a glass lobby on the side of it so that all the beauty of the windows and the brick will show through. So, I mean, it'll be great. So we're moving forward with them in a $4.3 million capital campaign, which has commenced already. And then as the building is finished, we expect the building to be done in 2017, the first half of the year. Then Proctor's will be handling all of our programming for us and helping us bring in shows that may necessarily not have been there before. I mean, we look at our programming as being like a third community-oriented kind of thing, children-focused, education-focused, a third for private events maybe, and then a third of them will be really cool shows, whether they're music or performing arts or visual arts. I'm not quite sure what that mix is going to look like yet.
I hope that's the mix that it ends up being, because I must say I was very drawn to it because of that mix. You have very eclectic programming, I think, and uses for sure. Maybe you could tell them a little bit. You just had a big event there, Orchard.
Yeah,
Project,
we had two really big events, but I'll kind of go backwards. The Orchard Project is an incubator program for performing artists. They're based in New York City, and it's an organization called The Exchange. They have a summer camp program, incubator program, which is called the Orchard Project, and they have been calling their home for every summer for the last 8 years, Hunter Mountain, New York. Well, they felt that they outgrew Hunter Mountain, and they came and checked out Saratoga and wound up finding Universal Preservation Hall and making that their home for the month of June.
Very good match.
It was a very good match. It was very cool. The things that they did were amazing. I think the residents of Saratoga and people that traveled up from other areas of the Capital District loved it.
Now, when you say incubator program, this is new plays,
new works,
new
theater companies that are working on new plays. New performances, new kind of things, and we didn't see everything that they did. There were many workshops that they did privately. They held classes for people that came, but they really were wonderful to go and see. And it was the first time they had ever opened their doors to the public.
Wonderful.
And that was great.
Wonderful.
So Saratogians got a taste of it. We look forward to them coming back. They were really cutting-edge performances, which everybody came away from going, wow, I want to see more of that.
What was that about? But I loved it.
Right. And then we did get a hand-me-down from Proctor's a couple of years ago, and it's an event called Electric City Couture.
Yes.
And it is held at the end of April, and it is a fundraiser for Universal Preservation Hall. We just had our second year. It is produced by a gentleman named Corey Aldrich of 2440 Design. Right. Corey does a great job, and we love our Electric City Couture. It is spectacular in our great hall.
Yes.
We have an 80-foot runway. We have 60 professional models. We do casting calls. We have teams of people that work with them in the back. And the designers line up to work with Corey and to be part of this, because the really great part is we set up our community room downstairs as a pop-up shop, so the designers are actually able to sell right off the runway.
They love it,
and
wonderful accent.
It's so fun. It's exhausting, but it's worth it, and it's our biggest fundraiser today. It's wonderful.
Well, I had the pleasure of working with a group called Vanguard, and we once did a preview of his Electric City Couture fashion show, and I just thought it was fascinating and wonderful, and this was in a small, older home. So this year when I came up to Preservation Hall, Universal Preservation Hall, I was just blown away. And you're right, the setting could not be more perfect. It's wonderfully dramatic, but also intimate at the same time, if that's possible.
It is,
and
yeah.
It was dandy. It was wonderful, and not something that most of us get to see. So I think there were so many people in the crowd that were certainly going to be coming back again.
I hope so.
Perfect setting.
And we feel that it really is parallel to our vision. I mean, by doing Electric City Couture, we feel that we're really a leader in growing the creative economy in the Capital District region. We really like that. We're very much into that now, and helping people locally to grow the economy. Through both events, we bring a lot of business into Saratoga. Electric City certainly does, but Orchard Project rented 12 apartments. They took over a bed and breakfast. They had catering for lunch and breakfast. The people that were there were downtown. They had a truly downtown experience, and they loved it. So we feel we've held up our end of the bargain on being
enriching the community,
an economic asset to downtown Saratoga as well, and we will continue to as we change and get prettier.
Right, I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. I think we also, before we don't have enough time, we want to, the range of events I had written down I wanted to talk about, and I think we've actually covered some of that by people knowing that they can actually have a part of this themselves for weddings or whatever, that you're doing fashion shows here, sort of unheard of in the area to the caliber of this particular
It's
fashion
very different.
show. And the theater, the burgeoning theater programs, and there are some things that are a little more familiar to some of us, although this new upcoming series of events has a special take on it and swing on it. And maybe
does.
you can talk to us a little bit about this, because this, I think, is very exciting too.
This is our second year we've done our live music series, and it's going to be really great this year. We kick off on Friday, July 17th, and the cool thing about this is it's our first time we've ever done anything in conjunction with Cafe Lena, which you know is historically it in the music world, right?
Saratoga, and it's Saratoga
and
too.
it's Saratoga. So we're kicking off on Friday, July 17th, and we're having the legendary David Amram perform, and he is paired up with a very young, hip, well-known, wonderful group called the Dylan Perillo Orchestra. So that'll be this coming Friday night.
And unfortunately, while we're taping this right now, it'll be airing after that program.
Right.
But maybe
we have more to
reviews.
come. So in August, on August 22nd, we have a wonderful guy that's playing at the hall. His name is Giacomo Smith. He is a virtuoso clarinetist. He grew up in Saratoga. He's in his early 30s. He owns his own swing jazz club in London, and he comes across the pond, and while he's here, he brings another musician with him, and they play at the hall, and we have a night of swing jazz. And we did it last year. We sold out. We also get a local dance company to give a brief swing jazz lesson before the concert.
Oh, great.
So everybody dances, whether they're young, they're old, they're good, they're not good. It's a really, really great night.
It's hard to sit still when you hear that kind of music.
It is.
I mean, it's like impossible, not just hard, it's
Yeah.
impossible. So a lesson
That's
is
right.
a nice thing to have.
So that's our August. September, we have a very unique show. It's Dan Brubeck, who is a son of David Brubeck. And Dan is having a CD release concert at UPH, and it is a CD set of songs his father wrote the music to and his mother wrote the lyrics.
Oh,
and I've heard the
special.
music. It's fantastic. So I believe that is September 19th. And then to finish up our live music series, our last shows will be done, once again, in conjunction with Cafe Lena as fundraiser for both organizations at Cafe Lena, and it will be the Howard Fishman Quintet, which, you know, these are all very jazz-oriented musicians. All of our shows are, but we seem to have quite a following. People love it. It's a nice, relaxing night, and the music couldn't be finer.
And these are all part of your capital campaign that you
They're
and
part of
Cafe
our fundraising,
Lena?
right. And Cafe Lena is in a capital campaign as well. So we're delighted to work with Sarah Craig and her folks at Cafe Lena to raise a little bit of money for both groups.
That's wonderful. So it isn't only, so if you're planning your fall, late summer, early fall outings, you really get twice the bang for your buck here because
do.
you're coming and you're supporting you and Cafe Lena
correct.
at the same time. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And beyond which, you get a really great night of music.
We're really excited. We love the collaborativeness of it, and because everybody wins in that case.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes, you do.
Especially the public.
Well, I haven't been up as often. This is a new discovery for me, so I hope to make that a little bit different over this next years to come as you get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Great. That's awesome. We are anticipating being closed for most of 2016.
So you won't have any season at all, you think?
No
season?
No, because we'll be under full construction.
Okay.
It'll become a hard hat area, and then reopening probably the first quarter of 2017. That's what we're anticipating, with it all done and looking beautiful, and have a great big coming out party.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So if we're looking to support all that's coming up, these next several programs are the ones that we would want to be coming to.
Correct. And then we will also do more fundraising events outside of the hall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a couple of things up our sleeve. We do already a celebrity bartender event that's usually held in May, and we do that at Saratoga National Golf Course, and that's a lot of fun.
Okay.
And we raise some money there, and there's no cover charge to get in that, so we usually pull in a pretty big crowd. And then we're talking with other arts organizations and other businesses downtown to help us raise money away from the hall while we're under construction.
While you're under construction.
Yeah.
So this partnership with Proctor's comes at a good time that allows you to do all these things.
Yeah. You know, Philip Morris really said it best. And he walked in the hall, he said, "This place is too beautiful not to fill it with music and people and life." And
Couldn't agree more.
it's true.
Yeah.
So we're really looking forward to our future. It's looking pretty bright right now. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad that we can be a little bit of a part of it, and I hope you'll come back as your season is. Maybe we'll just have you back when you don't even have a season. You can just tell us about your progress.
Oh, I would love that.
That would
And bring
be good.
pictures.
And bring
that would
pictures.
be great. Right.
And then you can come back to announce your season, and that will be very exciting.
That would be terrific.
Well, I look for it to become a real hub in downtown Saratoga Springs, and I think that you're right. It's the perfect place for it to be a hub and to reach out into the surrounding streets and programs that exist.
I think so. I think it's going to happen.
Well, I do too. So I hope you've enjoyed this discovery. I know I certainly have. And we will follow up and we'll keep you in the loop. And if you have any opportunity at all, go to their website, which is Universal Preservation Hall, all one word, .org. All their programs are listed there. It's very easy to navigate the website. It's very informative. And get up there if you can for some of these last late summer, early fall programming, knowing that your dollar is going to be put to good use next year as that building is completely brought into the new century. It's amazing. And then we'll all meet in there in the 2017. Thank you for joining us, and come back again for Open Door on the Arts. Thank you so much, Teddy, for being here.
Thank you, Barbara.
And introducing this place to us.
Great, thank you.
Bye-bye.